Okay, it's already 10 o'clock on my computer. So I believe everybody's also at 10 p.m. So Alhamdulillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Dan on behalf of the Faculty of Design and Architecture, the TDPI office hosted by Associate Professor TS Dr. Mohd Yazid Mohd Yunus, his graduate, his research office, and also co-host together with the Institute of Landscape Architects Malaysia. So today we are gathering for the first wacana, which is WacanaReka from FRSB, and we're going to be with Professor Dr. Osman Muhammad Tahir, one of the popular figures in landscape architecture field. So with that, I wish to thank all our participants. We have 114 participants by far, so it will keep coming. Alhamdulillah, thank you for the overwhelming participation from all our participants today. And we're very proud to have all of you to share our webinar, especially the first one for the 2021. And to wish you the new year, a very prosperous 2021. That's why this is one of the reasons why our faculty office, TDPI office, is organizing this WacanaReka. That is going to be a series of programs from time to time, which we will keep on informing our participants. Right? So as for today, without further ado, we're going to have about 1.5 hours together. So spare your time with us, right? And I am Associate Professor Landscape Architect Dr. Atiah Ismail to be with you as the facilitator for this event. And before we invite our speaker today, so I wish to read out loud his biodata. And Dr. Osman is of course not just any figure in the industry, but he's one of the pillars, especially for being the Dean of the Faculty of Design and Architecture for 2 times. And then the past president of the Institute of Landscape Architects also for 2 times. So luckily we don't have hat tricks. Yeah? If we are playing football, then that will be 3 times will be hat tricks. But for Dr. Osman, it is beyond that. So allow me to read out loud his biodata. So a Professor Landscape Architect TS Dr. Osman Muhammad Tahir is a Professor in Landscape Architecture in the Department of Landscape Architecture and former Dean at the Faculty of Design and Architecture, University Putra, Malaysia. Oh my God. Now we have incoming call. Well, he has been actively involved in the field of landscape architecture since 1984. He holds a doctorate degree in Sustainable Urban Landscape Management from the Newcastle University, United Kingdom. He is a former president and currently fellow of the Institute of Landscape Architects Malaysia, a professional technologist, building and construction, and president of the Asian Landscape Architecture Society. His research interests include sustainable landscape management, landscape planning and policy, arboriculture, permaculture, sustainable living, as well as park and landscape plan. Currently active as a reviewer for several national and international journals, accreditation panel auditor for MQA, panel auditor for institutional rating system, and expert panel for various building environment sector related to landscape architecture. So above all, Dr. Osman has been invited on numerous occasions to give keynote speeches and as invited speaker in the national and international conferences, seminars, forums, and dialogues. Has published numerous index journal articles, book chapters, and conferences proceedings, and involved in various landscape planning, design and development, and landscape management and maintenance project consultancy. Frequently appear in media discussing issues and ideas related to landscape architecture and sustainability, regularly elected as panel jury for various landscape-related awards and often appointed as external examiner for postgraduate students' thesis examination and landscape program. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I can't say more because he's definitely one of the best to speak for this morning event, to share with you his experience, his visions, and also inspire us to move with a brighter, with a much more motivational 2021. So with that, Dr. Osman, over to you. Thank you so much.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Before that, sorry, Prof. Osman, before that, I wish to have all our participants to mute your microphone so that we can allow all these, the speaker only for Prof. Dr. Osman. So I hope everybody could mute your microphone. But please on your video because we like to see you. All right? So over to you, Prof. Dr. Osman. Thank you.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning. Salam sejahtera kepada semua. Terima kasih kepada Dr. Atiah kerana memberi introduction yang panjang lebar tu. Cuma saya melaksanakan amanah ajalah untuk melaksanakan amanah kita dalam melaksanakan tugas dan tanggungjawab kita lah sebagai khalifah di muka bumi ni dan juga hamba Allah. Dan hopefully boleh dengar. So I think this is a challenge for 2020-2021.
Yeah.
We thought of 2020 ni we look at wawasan 2020 and whatnot kan. Tetapi it happened but it's a blessing juga kita dihadapi dengan beberapa pandemik dan sebagainya. Okay, let me share my slides dulu. Sekejap. Sekejap ya.
It's okay. So take your time and get to know each other. I think this is the first time we meet up for 2021. Good to see all the cheerful faces, especially on a Friday morning. Alhamdulillah.
Tengah nak share ni, tak jumpa dia punya. Sekejap ya.
Bear with us, don't worry. So while waiting for Prof. Dr. Osman to prepare, so I wish to also promote, to promote our program, which is this WacanaReka from FRSB. The next one, we're gonna have another professor who is in architecture field. Yeah. So please bear with us. So let me just read out the objective of this WacanaReka while we're waiting for Dr. Osman. So the first one is meningkatkan kesedaran individu, masyarakat, komuniti, ahli pakar, organisasi dan badan kerajaan dan swasta yang berkaitan tentang kepentingan kualiti kehidupan dan menjaga kelestarian alam. Yeah. So masih kita dapat dengar suara anak-anak di belakang, the background. Actually, those background is the one that is very, very lively. But then for today's webinar, we wish to have all our participants to mute microphone to allow for Dr. Osman for his paper this morning. Okay.
Okay.
You okay, Dan? Is that the one?
Yeah. Selalunya pakai Zoom ni Atiah.
Betul, faham. So, alright.
Bila pakai
tukar new things, yeah.
Tukar webinar ni jadi macam ni lah pula.
But then everything looks good. Your slides is very clear. We can hear you very clear too. But then to participants who might not mute their video, please do so. Or maybe I could ask the FRSB host to help me to mute all the participants' the microphone so that we allow only Dr. Osman microphones to on. That'd be great. Thank you so much. So then, so now I am also muted. Osman, over to you.
Okay.
All right. So
Okay,
ladies and gentlemen,
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
present to you Prof. Dr. Osman.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning to all. Sebenarnya dalam skrin saya ni ada satu request ni, annotation request from Atiah ni. Saya nak tutup tak boleh. Dia ganggu saya pun. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning to everybody. Seperti mana yang saya katakan, hari ini alhamdulillah kita dapat bersama. I think saya nampak rakan-rakan dalam industri dan juga rakan-rakan dalam institusi pengajian tinggi dan sebagainya ada bersama kita, begitu juga dengan beberapa staf daripada UPM. So terima kasih kerana bersama kita pada pagi ini. Kita nak bercerita sikit ataupun kita nak bincang sikit mengenai dengan lanskap dan kelestarian. Bersediakah kita dalam menghadapi cabaran 2020? I think this something that we are looking forward. Dalam keadaan sekarang ni kita dapati bahawa banyak perkara yang berlaku ya di sekeliling kita. Adakah kita bersedia? So alhamdulillah kita mengucapkan juga terima kasih kepada Pejabat Timbalan Dekan Siswazah Fakulti Rekabentuk dan Senibina kerana menjemput saya bersama pada pagi ini untuk just a sharing of experience lah, bukanlah untuk nak katakan nak bicarakan perkara yang ni, sekadar untuk share experience saya mengenai dengan beberapa perkara mengenai dengan landscape dan kelestarian ini. Okey. Sekejap. Okay. So my slide is in English, tapi saya akan bercerita sedikit dalam bahasa Malaysia dan juga kali ini saya akan menggunakan bahasa Inggeris juga lah. So lanskap dan kelestarian, bersediakah kita dalam mendepani cabaran 2020 atau dalam bahasa Inggeris ni landscape and sustainability, because I think banyak kita dah bercerita mengenai dengan lanskap dan sebagainya, dan tiba masanya kita melihat juga bagaimana lanskap dan sustainability ni ataupun kelestarian ini dapat kita bangunkan dalam kerja-kerja harian kita. Cuma kita menyatakan bahawa tahun 2021 ni kita dapati bahawa banyak cabaran lah. For the past years ni, 2020 tu kita dalam keadaan MCO, PKP, PKPB, PKPP dan sebagainya. Dan sekali lagi bagi tahun 2020 ni kita masih lagi dalam PKP dan kita menunggulah apa akan terjadi selepas Februari nanti, adakah terus PKP ataupun kita akan pergi ke tahap yang lain. Sorry, dia tak berjalan.
Sorry, while waiting for Prof. Osman, kita masih dengar, we still listen to the baby's voice. Prof. Osman, are you clear on your side? Ada dengar suara baby ke?
Clear.
Yeah. So because we still we are listening to kids' voice still. Okay, so hope everybody can please mute. Actually, host has already muted all the participants' microphone. Thank you. Over to you, Prof. Osman.
Okay, mungkin line agaknya kot. Dia tersekat. Okay, kalau kita lihat ini data semalam COVID kita masih lagi di paras 4,094 dan dengan beberapa kes kematian dan sebagainya, dan kita nampak off and on, naik turun dan sebagainya. So adakah dengan peningkatan dan juga naik turun ni, adakah bila masa nak menurunnya? hopefully lah kita berharap apa nama by middle of this year boleh flatten the graph and whatnot. Tapi kalau kita tengok Malaysia secara keseluruhan Selangor masih di atas, diikuti oleh Kuala Lumpur dan beberapa negara negeri yang lain, Johor dan sebagainya. Tapi kalau kita lihat di sini kan, kalau tengok tempat yang kalau kita nampak dari segi aktivitis dan sebagainya, di situ peningkatan berlaku. Dan kalau kita lihat secara keseluruhan, I think coronavirus in Malaysia ni dah capai 194,000. Coming soon, I think with this trend dia akan more than 200,000 and total death is around 707. Tapi alhamdulillah kita dah juga dapat lihat recovery yang dah recover is around 151,000. Jadi nampak trend daripada 1 year punya trend. Kalau tengok February 2020 sampailah sekarang ni nampak turun naik, dan dia ada masa yang rendah dan sebagainya lah. Okey, di sini. At the same time, kalau kita tengok juga di peringkat antarabangsa, kita dapati bahawa kes yang aktif still selot 25 millions. Okay, yang close case is around 75 million. So kalau you tengok, add up will be 101 million. So it's a huge number. And then in terms of daily cases and also daily death, nampak ya begitu meninggi dan sebagainya. Dan kita berdoa lah mudah-mudahan ia dapat kita laksanakan dengan sebaik yang mungkin. Hilang ya Dr. Atiah. You unmute dulu Atiah, Dr. Atiah.
Yeah, hilang sekejap, but don't worry, this is 2021. Technical issues is every day coming in, coming out, so don't worry, just be with us. And we're still listening to the baby's voice as a background of our events today. So yeah, it's a bit clear now. Thank you so much for all your cooperation. Thank you. And Prof. Osman, it's okay. Take your time, yeah.
Cakap line tak stable.
Yeah, actually even when you showed us the statistic of yesterday's COVID, even the internet is panic. So we tend to have this issue now. Okay.
Dia berat kot dia punya isu ni.
Actually, I had used Webex once for my presentation, but yes, you have a little bit of issues when you want to continue your slides. The best thing is that Prof. Osman, don't show your full slides. Just use like the one that we use. That means this is not full screen. Your slides has just to be ordinary PowerPoint. Because that would be difficult for you to enter from one slide to another. Yeah, I had experience before. So I think that's the weaknesses of these Webex as compared to others. But don't worry, because no matter what, Webex allow us to have more participants for today's event. And at this moment, we have around 252 with us. So bear with us. Dr. Osman is just giving you a teaser. It's not yet his full paper, and this technical glitch is actually planned to ask you to stay and to be patient with us, right? So don't worry, okay? So technical glitch seems to be common nowadays, right? And I believe everybody has experienced it in our own way. So let's allow Prof. Osman to settle down. But surely, Prof. Osman, this thing as a speaker, definitely it will increase your adrenaline. Yeah, but don't worry, stay cool. Because when Prof. Osman smiles, everything settled. Keep on smiling, Prof. Osman.
Yeah, Webex Meet isn't respond.
Dr. Atiah,
Yeah.
can
Yes.
you hear me?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Hi, Haji Sabaruddin.
Okay, bye.
Assalamualaikum.
Okay.
Thank you for
I'm still
joining us.
waiting. Salam. Katil lagi ni.
Itu bukan main ni. Thank you for joining us.
Right.
So we can always greet each other while waiting for Prof. Osman. Don't worry, because this is actually a very informal session, and take it as one of the ways to meet up and to greet one and another. Right? Wait. Yeah. Oh, Prof. Osman, you need to unmute yourself, please. Prof. Osman, we can't hear you.
Ya,
Okay, we can hear you now.
Speaker tu kan.
ya, no, apa ni,
Prof. Osman is trying to share your slides, yeah, Prof. Osman? So,
no, saya tak boleh nak saya tak boleh nak mute my speaker.
you are now on. Your speaker is on now. We can hear you. Oops. Oh, Dr. Yazid, would you mind? Could you please unmute Prof. Osman speaker, please? Yeah, it's okay now, Prof. Osman. Over to you. Yeah, there's a suggestion from Mr. Rafiuddin Roslan. Maybe we can help by switch off our webcam. Okay, that would be one of the ways, yeah, but
No, because
Prof. Osman, it's unmute again. You have to unmute again. Okay, so let us see some of the chats here. Oh, Prof. Osman have problem to unmute and problem to share his slides. So may I have our host WacanaReka to help on this matter, on this technical glitch? It was there just now, Prof. Osman.
okay. So dah mute dah, okay. Mungkin because of you unmute everybody, so saya punya pun unmute.
Correct. That includes Prof. Osman. So thank you, host, for helping us with this technical glitch. So now
I try to share, tapi tak
Share
keluar
this
lagi ni.
screen.
Tak boleh share dah.
Oh, I believe the host has also allowed Prof. Osman to share screen. Would it be possible for WacanaReka host to do that?
Please allow me to share the screen.
Yeah.
Sebentar ya Prof, saya try.
Okay, thank you so much. Puan Azlin, thank you. So what was the comment just now on our chat room? So yeah, just help yourself with the chat room while we are waiting. Okay. And it's good to see everyone, and we also have children supporting the events today with the parents. Of course, work from home is a blessing no matter what. Yeah, it's a blessing in disguise, and we being very close to our family, whatnot. So even it is very challenging, but of course we have blessings above all. Yeah.
Tengah try dia. Dr. Atiah, be patient.
Be patient. Dia, I rasa ni Prof. Osman dia minta I nyanyi pagi-pagi Jumaat ni.
Itulah, Atiah kena nyanyi juga.
Selagi belum nyanyi, dia tak maulah keluar slides tu ya. Gitu.
I still can apa nama share my slide sebenarnya.
Okay, tak apa. Kalau macam tu, untuk kita kata apa? Sementara tunggu Prof. Osman, so why don't I share with you my singing? Boleh? Boleh tak? Nak cuba I nyanyi tak?
Tak, cuma before that I hope apa ni host boleh minta you apa ni allow me to share lah kot.
Yeah, please help Prof. Osman for sharing his slides.
Takut you apa ni stop people from sharing.
Yeah. So while we are doing that, we are settling those technical glitch. Mari dengar I nyanyi dulu. Boleh?
Ada muzik ya?
Dengar tak? Ada dengar tak?
Dr. Osman minta try share. Kami dah jadikan Dr. Osman, Prof. Osman sebagai co-host. Boleh try share?
Prof. Osman, silakan.
Tak boleh lagi. Tak masuk.
Another way, maybe Prof. Osman can share your slides to Azli, but that will take a bit of time. So
mungkin Dr. Prof boleh send email pada kami share.
Okay. Okay, kalau macam tu, I kena pergi ambil mikrofon Sat. Jangan tunggu ya, semua pergi ambil mikrofon nak pasang lagu, nak pasang record. Dr. Atiah menyanyi. Tunggu Sat, because this is not in the program. Jadi bawa bertenang dengan I, okay? Tunggu Sat. Okay. Asyik baik I ada mikrofon cap Cina ni. Untung kena beli kat rumah sekarang ni. Okay. Alright, so kita akan dengar lagu while waiting for Prof. Osman to settle his technical glitch on the slides. Ada sikit entertainment for today for each and every one of you. Hanya dirimu yang ku cinta, takkan membuat aku jatuh cinta lagi. Tahu yang terbaik untuk diriku. Walau ku tahu kau tak sempurna, dan kau hatiku.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Jagakan dia, dia kekasihku dan tetap milikku. Sungguh mencintai, sungguh menyayangi, setulus hatiku.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Masa ni lah mikrofon cap Cina pun nak habis bateri gitu. Sebab tak termasuk dalam dalam rancangan kan. Okay. So for those who have just joining us, jangan terkejut. Ini bukan Gegar Vaganza ke? Ini bukan Akademi Fantasia ke? No, this is still WacanaReka. Don't worry, but we are having a little bit of technical glitch actually. So I am just fulfilling the time so that we still keep going, alright, while waiting for Prof Osman to settle the slides, because we have problem of sharing his slides actually. It was started just now, right? It was okay, but then suddenly the slides disappeared and we're having trouble to come back with the slides. So trust me, we have started almost about 10% of the program, but then the technical glitch came in. I was talking, and it's still going on, and then I sing for you a song, right? But please, the host, because I only have one song, or else I couldn't be singing for you 10 songs for this 1 hour. So I hope we're not going to do that, or else everybody will actually start to leave the group. So now, please be patient with us, ladies and gentlemen, because the topic that Prof Osman is going to share with us is very, very important, especially with his expertise on landscape architecture and also landscape maintenance, which is one of the most important issues in this 2021, when everybody has got to work from office, and maintenance is also part of the issues, especially when we look at the the height of this COVID patients. They came from construction sites and whatnot, which I believe all of us here, that's part of our life, being to the site, meeting people. So what do we do? How do we do? So that's why this lecture from Prof Osman is very, very crucial for us this morning. But it is just that the technical glitch is not with us. But trust me, the host is now trying to solve the issues. And if you want, maybe you can continue to chat on the chat room just to share with us your inspiration for 2021, right? So while waiting, why don't we have one activities now? On the chat room, my question is, what is your vision for 2021? Right on our chat room. Chat room. Okay. What is our vision for landscape architecture in 2021? Mr. Najimuddin bagi tahu, sedap suara Dr. Maria. Dr. Atiah, kalau you cakap Maria, I dah jadi Mariah Carey dah. I terperasan sekejap to all. Tapi tak apa. Alright. So thank you so much, by the way. Why don't we do something while waiting for Prof Osman, because I believe he's transferring his emailing his slides to the host. And okay, so we write down on our chat room what would be our wish and vision for 2021, especially in landscape architecture field. And I believe this poll is very important also for ILAM, so that we know what do we wish, what do we wish, and what is our vision, whether we are going to be good, excellent. Sometimes pandemic closing one door, but the blessing behind it is actually opening another 10 doors for us. So the first is actually from mass reading to everyone. I harap COVID cepat beredar dari Malaysia. Mas Ridin pun dah tulis, I harap civot cepat beredar dari Malaysia. We don't want another disease here. The COVID is already very, very, kita kata apa, sickening already. Civot is another virus. We don't want. COVID is still ongoing. right? And we hope to solve it from one another. Thank you, Mas Ridin. I'm just joking, all right? So from Radin, minimize COVID-19 effect. It's really affecting projects, implementation and maintenance program. This is what I've been talking about. And that's why today's lecture from Prof. Osman is very, very important because it is so much close to us. Yeah. So Prof. Osman, is everything good on your side? Yeah, so not yet. We will continue. So I wish more landscape architects will enter politics and gearing up Malaysia Green Party. Oh my God, yes. Actually, this is one of the visions of ILAM. We want to see more landscape architects to join party so that we can have our voice and we can be stronger, yeah, as compared to planners, architects, yeah. So they have started to join, and especially nowadays, just to give you example, the current minister siapa tu, Menteri Wilayah kan. So kita dah ada is a planner, and then we have our mayor of DBKL now is also a planner. So we need, as a landscape architects, let's be more confident and explore all these opportunities that we have outside, yeah. So, and then we have from Muhammad Iman, semoga COVID-19 berlalu pergi dari seluruh dunia, terutama Malaysia. Amin, amin ya Rabbal Alamin. This is a doa in the Friday morning, semoga Allah makbulkan. So now Iman said Germany has started. Yes, we do. We also have started, but then we don't have landscape architects. We have landscape architect Fauzi Abu Bakar joining politics, but he's alone. So we need more supporters, yeah, whichever parties, whatsoever you decide, but then be more confident, let our voice to be listened by the community. Zainal Fadli, Zaini, to everyone, kita buat parti baru, parti lanskap. Nanti kan kita kena viral pula pagi ni buat kita kata apa, dia panggil apa, demonstrasi pula ya. But then thank you so much, Landscape Architect Zainul Fadli. Yeah, it's very important for us to be heard, and also for us to show our support to the country. And we have IDD Tamin, semoga Allah merahmati kita semua dengan menghilangkan pandemik COVID-19. Thank you so much. Amin, amin ya Rabbal Alamin. So kat UK dah ada mayor yang background landscape architect. This is what we want. All right. So we have PBTs here. We have landscape architects here. We have people who are very strong academicians. Yes, this can be done. Yeah. So I hope now. Oh yeah. So I believe the content is now started to appear. Right. Okay, while waiting, I will read from Dr. Ellie Rosie, 2021. Oh, sorry, we have another one. Let's have our First Lady President of ILAM, let's say kita, Dr. Atiah Ismail. Siap amin. Amos, kau siap amin pagi-pagi ni ya. I pun, yelah, gitu ya. Okay, we go to the next one, 2021. So, yeah, it's coming. The slides is coming. Hope that everything is good now. Okay, so 2021 will see some changes in the way we design spaces as we saw the changes in security standards after the 2016 and 2018 vehicle attacks. We will see some countries and cities implement design standards. However, the changes will be dependent on the rollout of the vaccine and mitigation of the ongoing waves. Thank you so much, Dr. Ellie Rosie. This is brilliant together with others. And from Susanna, may we all be stronger and united with or without the pandemic. That's very, very important. Yeah, stay strong, stay supporting each other because that is the key for success. And we have one from Sarah Hashim. Salam everyone. Walaikum salam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Sarah. So we are still, yeah, that shows a very good sign that the slide is coming up, yeah, but it's still not yet there. You just keep waiting for a moment, yeah. So it is a very good vibes this morning. Everybody is happy, yeah, even though we have a little bit of a technical glitch, but we all know that this is part of the challenges, right? And we can't avoid, but we have to go with it. So in pandemic, the COVID will be here no matter what, but then how do we get ourselves or live with it? Yeah, it's coming. Oh my God, thank you so much. Okay, so everybody, please put on your seatbelt because we are going to drive with Prof Osman with his title Bersediakah kita dalam mendepani cabaran 2021. Alright, this is very important. Prof Osman, are you ready? You okay now?
Boleh dengar dah Atiah?
Boleh dengar. Boleh.
Okay. Kalau boleh dengar, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Hopefully it's okay. This is the first cabaran for 2021.
Yeah, that's nice. First cabaran.
Tapi bila dengar lagu Dr. Atiah tu okey tu.
Terpaksa. Masa ni pula mic ni tak ada bateri. Tapi tak apa, we can do. InsyaAllah.
Okay, so we go to okay, slide. Siapa yang control ni? Come.
Maybe Puan Azlin ya, so tak apa. Puan Azlin will control the slide.
Kami kat pejabat kontrol, Prof. Kami kat pejabat.
Yes, tak apalah, kita jalan. Apa ni, next slide.
Alright. Okay.
Okay, kalau kita tengok cases tadi kita dah bincang cases sekejap naik turun dan sebagainya. Okay, that's the first challenges yang kita hadapi. Di samping technological, all the Zoom, the Webex and whatnot. Okay, next. Okay, then kita akan tengok juga starting this year juga dan juga beberapa tahun yang lepas banjir. Banjir juga merupakan satu cabaran kepada kita. Adakah kita bersedia untuk bukan kita bersedia untuk banjir, but adakah kita reka bentuk kita, perancangan kita mengambil kira mengenai dengan banjir dan sebagainya. Sebab tu kalau kita lihat banjir ni a lot of cities have been experiencing flood ni. Kalau kita tengok Bangkok, they have experiencing a lot of floods and whatnot. Dan dia ada berbagai-bagai cara. Kalau kita tengok juga berbagai cara telah dilaksanakan untuk menangani banjir. Sebab tu dia kata okay, we have to design with nature, jangan against the nature. So this is something that we have to look at it. Okay, then come. Begitu juga tadi isu banjir, tetapi kita juga ada issues dan juga krisis air. But our issues and krisis air because of bukanlah disebabkan kita tak cukup air, tetapi I think because of pollutions and whatnot happening in our river, and then because of a lot of development is around our river, so I think this is also an issue for us. Air keep on cut once the river is being polluted and whatnot. Okay, come. But all these needs to be looked at carefully. In fact, we have also the issues of jerebu, haze, a few years ago. Dan tak tahu this year kalau bertemu juga haze dalam COVID, kita dengan dengan flood, dengan waters cut off, and then haze. I think is a multi challenges yang akan berdepan dengan kita. Okay, come. Okay, at the same time, we will look at Malaysian populations. Currently, we are 32 millions currently, and most are projected to be in the cities. So this is also something that we have to look at carefully. Okay. What will happen? Sebab tu kalau kita tengok tadi kan, pandemic ni kan, you'll see a lot of cases happen in the cities. So this is also something that we have to look at it carefully. Okay, come. Sorry, hilang eh. Okay, then the issues of COVID-19. So what will happen after COVID-19? I think we need to really think of carefully. But to me, this is a big opportunities for us. In terms of COVID-19 2020 is some of the people talking about this is the time for us to reset, to rethink, to relook at things in a more serious manner. So I think for landscape architects and also landscape industries, I think this is time for us to be together to look at what will happen with the industry, what will happen with the whole thing, and what need to be done after the post COVID-19. Okay, come. But we are blessed. I think early this year, our Prime Minister started to come up with one of the ministry started to come up with Penghijauan Malaysia. I think greening the nations ni dah start quite sometime. Previously we planted 1 million trees in 1 minute pernah kita laksanakan, but now under this Penghijauan Malaysia ni, Greening Nation campaign, they started to think of planting 100 million trees by the year 2025. So within 25 years, they plan to plant 100 trees. It's not a shrubs, but it's a real is a trees. They have defined what is trees, where they have trunk, they have canopies and whatnot. So Penghijauan Malaysia ni is one thing that we feel that green coverage is very important in our in our country and our daily life, and also we have to really look at it seriously. Tetapi as I mentioned, all these are things that we need to think of. These are our tasks together, how to green the Malaysia in a proper manner. So I think we have a big task in the future. So where to plant all these 100 million trees, how to manage these 100 million trees, how the maintenance will be for these 100 million trees. This is the new planted trees, but what will be the existing trees. So these are all our tasks for the future. Okay, next. Okay, and at the same time, we have what we call this national tourism policy. So what is this policy is all about? To formulate a national tourism policy based on the principles of competitiveness, sustainability, and inclusiveness. I think this is something that we have to see. In the landscape industry, we are not just talking about national landscape policy, but looking at other national policies. One of it is this newly launched national tourism policies. Is under 2020 to 2030. So it's a 10 years punya policies. Dasar untuk 10 tahun ni. And you'll see that these policies is also gearing towards the principle of competitiveness, sustainability. So the word sustainability is still coming in more frequent currently, and inclusiveness to place Malaysia as a global top 10 tourism industry in both arrival and also receive. So in implementing this policy, you'll see that there are 6 core strategies, namely, so there will be a governance transformations. In order for you to do certain things, they need some transformations and whatnot. Establishing inclusive tourism investment zone, intensifying tourism digitalizations and others. I think this is something. And I think yesterday there is a news from MB Selangor to open up Air Hitam Forest. So there is also some discussions happening around in order to attract tourism and whatnot. Sebenarnya Air Hitam Forest ni is a reserve forest, This is only reserve forest around apa ni Selangor ni yang kalau kita tengok is very nearby to apa ni to UPM, and in fact it is part and parcel of apa ni they call it CISFAC. Okay, where our apa nama faculty of apa ni forestry in terms of educations and whatnot. So there are discussions about opening up that as part and parcel of apa ni tourism gitu. There are pros and cons in terms of that, but these are things that need to be discussed carefully, and this is our task. In fact, in apa ni in reviving our economics. Okay, come. I'm just sharing you with all these things because these are current things. In 2018, there are also some what framework in terms of Malaysia Smart City Framework. Then you see that Malaysian's Smart City Framework, this is the policies and also strategies looking at primary infrastructure, quality of human capital, cybersecurity, social inclusion, sustainable and smart environment. So you see, sustainable and smart environment practices is being part and parcel of this smart city framework, because I'm involved in during their town hall and discussions about developing this smart city framework. So you see there are components of sustainable and smart environment practices in this smart cities. So this is also something that we have to alert and also to take into considerations when we start doing our practicing our in the landscape industries. Okay, come. And there is some one more policies that I think the national policies on industry 4.0, industry 4 WRT. So this is also looking at how we want to position ourselves, the country, how to position ourselves in the industry 4.0. But the big question is how this industry 4.0 also being handled by the landscape industries, looking at big data, advancements in materials, and how the integrations of technological advancements in our daily life, in also in our industries. Okay, come. Okay, I took these photos. I think I've shared with my students and whatnot. This is Kuala Lumpur in 2020. Last year, I took these photos. You see the Twin Tower. So that's the key what we call buildings in Kuala Lumpur. The Twin Towers, the TRX now coming up with Menara PNB, Merdeka and whatnot. And you see that at the what we call left hand corner, you have Kampung Baru. Okay, so but how's Malaysia? How Kuala Lumpur will transform in the next 10 to 30 years? I think last yesterday or 2 days ago, there is a discussions by one of the NGOs looking at the structure plan of Kuala Lumpur, how it will transform in the next 10 to 30 years. What will happen to Kuala Lumpur? How the landscape will be in that particular areas. So these are things that need to be looked at carefully. Okay. Come. Okay, then we're talking about landscape and sustainability. With all this, macam tadi lah saya katakan COVID-19 kan, it started spreading out in all these cities and whatnot. Same as kalau you look at cities now, spreading building, high-rise buildings and whatnot. So where are we in this all this development? So where is our landscape and sustainability in looking at all these things? the previous slides, so I showed the Twin Tower, but now I'm showing the TRX. But this is under construction, still under construction, and also Bandar Malaysia kan?
Yeah.
Okay. Kan? Okay, apa kaitannya dengan landscape and sustainability? What is landscape? What is sustainability? So, as Dr. Atiah mentioned, today this is just a discussions between us, between our industries and our stakeholders, looking at how we can play our roles in making our environment a better place for us to live in. But with all these constraints, with all these issues and whatnot. So what is landscape? What is sustainability? Okay, let's discuss. Okay, so I took it from European EUs. If you see in terms of landscape, landscape reflects the relationship between people and place. So you have it's interactions between this, the relationship between people and place. So this is what landscape is all about. Sebab tu kita kata when COVID coming in also, people staying at homes and whatnot, our natural in reality we need to really have a relationship between human and also places around us. So, but this is a challenge. How are we going to really manage and also the new development of all these places? But when we mention about these places, it also involves the natural, the geology, the land covers, the flora, fauna, the air, the climate, hydrologies, landform, and whatnot. At the same time, the aesthetic values, the memory, the associations, preference, and whatnot. And also, all these places, it reflects or it relates to the cultural and also socials. That's why bila kita tengok MCO kan, PKPB kan, once kita kata kita open up inter cities, you can go move around and everybody start moving around. So that's the problem. Because tapi kita tak boleh salahkan manusia kan, because our relationship between people and place ni, memories ni is very close. Sebab tu kita nak balik kampung dan sebagainya. So these are our nature. But the new normal, maybe there are some restrictions and whatnot. So these are things that need to be looked at carefully. So at the same time, we are also talking about sustainability. So how all these things can be gelled together with the sustainable development goals, whereby to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. Okay, so how to create the quality of causing little or no damage to the environment and therefore able to continue for a long time, and the quality are being able to continue over a period of time. So this is what sustainability is all about. Whatever we have here, whatever the landscape that we have developed, the relationship between peoples and place and whatnot, how to ensure that the sustainability of that particular asset that we have can be continued to be passed to the next generations, okay, over a period of time. So this is something that we need to look at carefully. So the concept of sustainability ni, kalau kita tengok, there are three concepts. Satu, the argument for efficiency. So you have to really be efficient. So we are not talking about just having the development just for that particular things, tetapi there should be some efficiencies in doing certain things and still allow for new growth. Meaning that we are not stopping the development, but there must be some efficiencies in developing certain things. And also we are talking about the argument for conservation of resources. So the resources yang kita ada ni very limited and whatnot. So we have to conserve. And also in terms of restorations of human health and environmental quality. Because the world is this is the world that we are living in. So we have to restore in terms of human health and environmental quality. And we know that macam tadi saya katakan, landscape is very close to us. The places are very close to us, and these are the places that we can release our pressures, work pressures and whatnot. Okay, our tensions and whatnot. So these are the things that the key things that we need to look at. The major arguments in terms of efficiencies, in terms of conservations, and also in terms of restorations of human health and environmental quality. Okay, come. Okay, this is just sharing with you. Okay, in terms of is the International Federations of Landscape Architects, the world Federations of Landscape Architects. They have redefined what is the scope of landscape architecture. So they have sent in a letter to international labor organizations currently. I think last year, kan, Dr. Atiah?
Yeah.
So yeah, last year. So in order for to change to upgrade the scope of landscape architecture. So currently we suggested to the international labor organizations this is what landscape architects is all about. So our landscape architect plan, design and manage natural and built environment. So you see that this is our task. We are doing planning, we are design, and at the same time we manage. So it's a continuous process. Okay, manage the natural and also build environment. So we are not talking about just a built environment. We are also talking about the natural environment, applying aesthetic. Okay, but not only aesthetic, but also scientific principles. So that's why you see that more and more studies have been done, more and more research has been done in order to support our activities. So applying aesthetic and also scientific principle to address ecological sustainability. So it's not is to address in terms of this ecological sustainability, but also looking at the quality and health of landscape, collective memories. Nampak tadi kan? Because landscape ni is also about memories, heritage, culture. Ni kalau heritage and culture ni Dr. Atiah and terrestrial, territorial punya justice. So by leading, so for us now, by leading and coordinating other disciplines, so we have to lead, we have to coordinate with other disciplines. We are not talking about working alone. So we have to lead and also coordinate with other disciplines. Landscape architects deal with the interaction between nature and cultural ecosystem, such as adaptations and mitigation related to climate change. So a lot of discussions also on climate change and stability of ecosystem, social economy improvement, community health and welfare, and to create place that anticipate social and economic well-being. So you see that our scope is become bigger. Okay, so with these definitions, we are not, sebenarnya skop tu memang besar tu, cuma kita put it specifically so that the understanding of our scope ni and for our graduates and whatnot, so they understand. After they graduate, they are not only as a landscape consultants, they are looking at a lot of things. They are looking at the climate change, the sustainability of the ecosystem, and also looking at the social economy improvement, community health and welfare. Ini juga satu perkara yang penting. And also to anticipate social economic well-being. Okay, so and they have the task of landscape architects being they spell out clearly what need to be done and whatnot. Okay, then kalau kita tengok di peringkat EU juga, kan, IFLA EU, Europe punya ni, they have a charter, kan, next. they have a charter, the importance of the roles of landscape. So landscape have important roles in terms of public interest roles in cultural, ecological, environmental, and also social field. It constitutes a resource favorable to economics activities. So nampak tak? The sustainability is there already. So we are not talking about just cultural, ecological, and also environmental, but it touches about the socials and also activity economics. Okay, and landscape is important parts of quality of life for people, and also urban and also countryside. So it's not only urban areas, but also taking into consideration the countryside, the degradation area as well as area of high quality. Maksudnya, these are tasks that we have to look at. And also kita nampak development in agriculture, forestry, industrials and mineral productions technique, and in regional planning, town planning, transport in many cases accelerating the transformations of landscape. Jadi maksudnya, we also have our tasks in agriculture. So currently kita we have been a lot of discussions about how we want to develop back our agriculture. Katakan kalau agriculture kita is just producing food without anything, when crisis happen, what happened to the farmers, to the industries and whatnot. Sebab tu there are some changes in terms of agriculture ni. They open up other component dalam agriculture ni, not only producing food, tetapi at the same time tourism and whatnot is also something that we have to look at. Sama juga forestry, sama juga industrials, and also mineral production. So this is area that we have to venture. Okay, sepatutnya there are landscape architects in agriculture punya sectors, there are landscape architects in forestry punya sectors, there are landscape architects in industrial sectors and whatnot. And landscape is a key element of individual and social well-being, and its protections, management, and planning, and entails rights and responsibility for everyone. So kita juga melihat kepada social well-being. Okay, so nak tak nak we have to work together juga dengan medical sectors. Okay, come. So it's a broad aspect of landscape. So landscape is often being associated with design landscape on relatively small scales, landscape site design and site planning. Sebab tu kalau kita tengok dalam curriculum kita kata okay, we have site landscape site design, landscape site planning. So that is totally coming out with master plan coming out. But at the same time, we also have a broader aspect of landscape. We have to involve in landscape planning. We have to also involve in landscape design and also in terms of management. So it's not only just landscape site design and site planning, but also we have to get involved in landscape planning. Okay, in terms of more regional, more large scale kind of thing. And at the same time, we also have to really look into considerations in terms of the management. I think landscape architect Haris have been talking about this also. There is a book from landscape architect Haris on landscape management, sustainable landscape management. I think this is something that we have to look at. So it is a continuous process that we have to evolve. So it's not just site design, site planning. We also have to really gear up, beef up in terms of landscape planning, and at the same time practice directly and integrally in many other sectors, land use planning, agriculture. I mentioned that once again, forestry, nature conservation, amenity land management, and others. So memang juga kita kata agriculture and forestry ni is also something that very close to us, that we need to really look at it carefully. Katakan tadi kan, to open up forest recreation areas, and also dekat agriculture juga to come up with agro-tourism. So that is our task, okay, in terms of looking at how to do the landscape planning, landscape design, and also the landscape management of that particular area. So this is the broad aspect of landscape. Okay, come. Kalau kita tengok dekat HDB, Housing Development Board in in our neighboring countries, they have started to look at new approach in designing townships. Okay, they have come up with new challenges, aging populations, climate change, evolving social aspirations, resident desire, and to be more involved in shaping their living environment. So the pillars is, as I mentioned, live well, live smart, and also live connected. So they have started to look at the overall environment of the living environment. It's not only the building itself, they are also talking about the landscape of that particular area, in order for them to really make sure that the people, the residents that use that particular area is live well, live smart with all these technologies and whatnot, and also connected. Okay, come. Roadmap for designing towns with focus on healthy living, green space, and also smart technology. You can read, I think, all these things, but still, as I mentioned, they are looking at green space and also public spaces, and all these are very important component in designing the townships. It's no longer orang kata a remnant area, is right in the middle of the developments and whatnot. Why? Because their focus is healthy living, and they really understand that all these spaces, green spaces that surrounding the development can really promote the healthy living lifestyle. Okay, come. And there is a new one from Landscape Institute, delivering a sustainable recovery from COVID-19. A green recovery means green infrastructure. So how we want to relate this green recovery from COVID-19 with the green infrastructure. So these are things they have come up with certain policy papers in delivering a sustainable recovery for COVID-19. So I think others they have started coming out with a lot of suggestions and whatnot. So you can see their guidelines. They can take a natural capital approaches to new infrastructures and housing. So they still tackle housings and whatnot. Invest in maintenance and retrofit existing places. Nampak tak? They mentioned about, okay, betul, we invest in terms of development, but at the same time, we have to invest in terms of the maintenance. Set higher and fairer standards for green spaces. Invest in natural solutions to climate change, and create a step change in green skill, digitals, and also data. So nampak tak? Still, we have to integrate all these things together in order for us to come up with all this recovery from COVID-19. Okay, and these are their what I call strategies and whatnot. They detail out a little bit in terms of what they need to be done. Okay, in terms of investing in maintenance, renewables of existing parks and green space, invest in natural solutions and whatnot. Okay, come. For us, we have our national policy. So Alhamdulillah, we still have this, but our national policies end up last year. So we have to think. That's why I got this is our opportunities. we have this pandemic, our national policies pun dah dah habis 2020 tu. So this is the best time for us to really put our thoughts in developing our new national landscape policies. Okay, come. But national landscape policies are very important policies for us. And we are blessed, we have this National Landscape Day, the 3rd of every March, 3rd of March. But you see that starting last year, they start talking about character, landscape character assessment, visual assessments and whatnot. So I think we are moving the right directions, okay, looking at all of these things. Come. And at the same time, the Institute of Landscape Architects also, we have what we call Malaysia Landscape Architecture punya awards. So from these awards, we have look at the landscape trend. Okay, so every year we come up, oh, this is the landscape trend of Malaysia, and this helps us in terms of looking at, we are not just talking about just trend as trend, we are looking at how it evolved, okay, from just planting of trees, started to value landscape in a different manner. Okay, so these are things that need to be looked at carefully. And also, in fact, before COVID-19, we have put our thoughts that we need to change in a more aggressive manner. That's why we come up with this landscape architecture agenda, LAA 2050, with the visions, landscape as a base for well-being and inspired living through innovative technologies and sustainable values. So we started this in 2017, 2018. So in fact, we have kita dah anticipate 2020 is a turning point for us to move forward to do something to change. And nampak tak yang tadi dengan LI, the EUs and whatnot, what we did is in line with the whole thing. So kita kata landscape is a base for well-being and inspired living. So everybody are talking about that, everybody are approaching that manner through innovative technologies and sustainable values. Okay, and what is the values? Kita kata same as IFLA juga, kita kata we have to be a key player in planning and designing the built environment and take a more influential role to lead and to inspire design solutions. So meaning that it's not only solutions ni, we have to come up with landscape new solutions for certain things. I think kita dah mula dah. Katakan retention pond pun kita dah kata, oh, we can do this. Katakan slope stabilities juga kita kata, oh, the bioengineering will ada juga solutions from us. So these are things yang kita nak kena tengok. Okay, in cities kita kata, oh, rain rain garden, and now people are talking about sponge city. Sponge. how to retain water, access waters and whatnot, and also use that water during the drought seasons and whatnot. Okay, come. Dan kalau kita tengok kan, there are 10 strategy focus areas that we really focus on this landscape architecture agenda ni. We focus on visibility, so we have to be visible. We focus on resource management, how to manage safeguards the professions and also the industries and whatnot. We need to experience and needs, maksudnya explore new things. Okay, talking about conducive living, talking about security and safety, economic returns, meaning that whatever we do is not just for beautifications for what, but also put a thought on economic returns, capital, human capital advancement, best practices. We need to come up with more best practices, educations and research, we talking about apa ni scientific things. Should be back up with studies, scientific research and whatnot, and also technology and system. So all are in place that ready for us to use and ready for us to take into actions on these particular things. So we are we have put thoughts starting 2018, 2017 about this landscape architecture agenda for the next 50 years, for the next 30 years to come. Okay, come. Sebab tu this is a challenge. We anticipate certain things, tapi kita taklah sampai anticipate there is a lockdown. Tapi we anticipate that there must be some changes. There must be some transformations in what we do. Okay. So last year punya Hari Lanskap tu, I give some things lah, kita kata macam mana nak memartabatkan dignifying our landscape development agenda in Malaysia. How do we want to transform our landscape industry? We have our LAA 2050 2030 ni. How we can work together to transform our industries. Okay, focus on macam mana juga how landscape and sustainability gel together as something that we have to approach as well as building well-being of the nations. Okay, transform and streamline our policies, planning and also guidelines. So we need more sebab tu I kata it's a blessing because our policies end up 2020. So we have to transform and streamline our national landscape policies and whatnot. And maybe there are a few more policies and also how to do plannings and whatnot. In Malaysia, and other parts, we have to involve our young generations. We know that young generations in Malaysia ni dia punya percentage is higher dah, mungkin lebih naik. So we need to involve them. Young generations, the planner, the future leaders of the country. Okay. Okay, as a landscape architect juga, kalau kita tengok in terms of theoretical foundations and approaches, previously kita tak nafikan local landscape ecology is important in terms of influence the development of many areas in terms of landscape theory and practice and also a lot of things in terms of landscape development and whatnot. But the understanding of human influence on long-term ecological change in landscape process and network are important considerations. So that need to look at carefully. Kita masih practice on that. However, kita kata the realizations of sustainable landscape, considerations on ecology. So ecology, economy and social issues are equally important, as well as making fit place and spaces for people enjoyment, thus for their quality living and wellness. Jadi maksudnya betul kita kata landscape ecology ni is our base in terms of foundations and approach, but at the same time kita nak juga penuhkan ataupun mendalami the economic issues and also the social issues in order for us to understand what is the approach of sustainable landscape. Okay, so these are the transformations that we are looking at. Okay. And sebab tu kita kena gel together. The landscape professions and challenges in sustainable practice ni, kita kata landscape and sustainability ni need a change in mindset. We have to change our mindset in terms of doing things among professions, including landscape architects and other. The issues of landscape and sustainability ni are complex and challenging. So makin lama makin challenge because challenges ni because apa? Because the resources is makin kurang in terms of fund pun makin kurang. So these are the challenges. The skill of thinking, actions need to respond to these landscape terms in large and grow even more critical as unsustainable development accelerate around the world. So kita nak kena really change our mindset. Macam mana kita nak change our mindset? Nak gel this together, the landscape and also the sustainability, sustainable development. Okay, come. Sorry, saya cepat ni sikit. Okay. Sikit lagi tak apa. Apa ni? Looking at ni, sustainability and also sustainable development in relations to landscape. Saya nak nyatakan apa ni, the most important thing, sustainability ni kita kata worthless without some definitions and precisions. So kita mesti ada sustainable indicators. Okay, so benda ni yang kita kurang ni. Maksudnya still lacking ni, banyak on apa ni, landscape sustainable indicators ni. Untuk apa? To provide the measuring criteria. Okay, so sustainable development ni require us to look to a long term, while our system ni normally is a short term. So macam mana kita nak measures all these things? Okay, come. Yang seterusnya ialah changing the mindset. Attempt to change the human mindset that dia kata damage and depletions of the resources can somehow solve with our apa nama kecerdikan, kepandaian kita lah, and also all these innovations. Tetapi apa ni, alam ni ataupun nature ni is very fragile. Once it's gone, it's gone. You tengoklah all this the developed countries kan, bila forest dia gone lah, tak ada lah. Now kita tinggal our forest. So that mindset tu kena. So that's why we have to take apa ni the actions ni at the early stage. So the environmental perspective is not just on the stock of apa ni resources available, but their energy flow and their uses, but rather the services they provide. Sebab they provide us with all these apa ni things, the oxygens and all that. They moderate our climate, they protect the radiations, clean air for breathings and whatnot, and also processes of apa ni waste. So these are things, and also not only the apa nama all these things captured under the ecological system and also the landscape approach, but also as well as the economic approach to landscape and also human resources or skills and knowledge, yang mana kita kata the social capital. So this mindset ni nak kena change lah in order for us to move forward. Okay, come. So in order to apa nama change our mindset, kita kena change to become a more sustainable thinking. Macam mana jadi sustainable thinking? That's the word that we are using. So sustainable thinking ni become increasingly recognizable and also obvious. So kita kena have this apa ni thinking ethical, think ethically and also sustainable, which mean that to assess the consequences and impacts of ideas, opportunities and actions towards sustainability. Whatever we do ni, kita kena assess in terms of the consequences and also impacts towards the sustainability. But apa ni, ethical and sustainable thinking ni is a matter of attitude, behavior, value and also mindset. Sebab tu kita kena tukar mindset kita to become a more sustainable thinking. Okay, so there are a lot of apa ni discussions about this sustainable thinking. Okay, come. Tapi what is sustainable thinking is all about juga. Okay, so you have to have a multi-functionality and integrated thinking. Okay, when I mention about multi-functionality and also integrated thinking ni, we have to really, when we do something, dia mesti multi-functionality. When we do landscape pun, the landscape should solve multi-functional apa ni multi issues. Baru dia jadi lebih viable. Okay. Currently tak boleh lagi dah apa nama landscape is just apa ni just why you want to have landscape saja landscape. There must be a very reason, and it's also must be a multifunctional kind of thing, and your thoughts should be a very integrated thinking. Sebab tu the approaches apa ni we have to look it in a different angles and whatnot. Sebab tu come out with the development of green infrastructure So green infrastructure, we are looking at the whole development ni as something that integrates together. It should be multifunctional. The green infrastructure ni should be multifunctional and also integrate and solving multi-issues, multi-functions. So that is our task in looking at apa ni the overall scenario. Hilang lagi. Betul ke hilang? Ke saya je hilang? Okay, so but now people also talking about the blue and green infrastructure ni. Saya ambil je ni contoh ni dekat apa ni the Central Park dekat apa ni Elmina, how they integrate apa ni the retention pond and whatnot. I think is a good apa ni we started to apa ni to think of apa ni water punya issues, apa ni green punya issues, community social punya issues together dalam satu-satu ni. But we have a lot more examples lah. Kan? This is also something yang kita kena tu, developing qualitative and quantitative indicators of sustainable landscape. Kalau kita perasan, if you ni kan, measuring tools kita kata is very important, but most of our measuring tools is a qualitative indicators. So bila qualitative indicators kita kata apa ni kita ada landscape ni dia jadi cantik, dia jadi apa ni dia lah benda-benda yang very qualitative. But currently we need also to have a quantitative indicators of sustainable landscape. Sebab tu I always mention about, well, we have to develop all these quantitative indicators, the qualitative and also quantitative indicators. And quantitative indicators is becoming more important now because we have to provide information for the development of more integrated approach in sustainable thinking. So these are things that need to be addressed carefully. So please sebab tu my students pun bila exercise I give them kan, I always mention about look at what are the indicators yang kita boleh guna to measure in terms of the sustainability of this particular practice or projects or whatnot. Okay, so itu yang saya kata apa ni qualitative. Normally kita pergi ke qualitative punya indicators, but we need also to develop the quantitative punya indicators, punya measuring tools, and also integrating technologies advancement in landscape architecture. So we need to include this technology advancement, including digital visualizations and whatnot, maybe GIS and whatnot in all our architectural works. So this is the time for us to do all these things. I think COVID ni dah memang dia accelerate all these things. Nak tak nak dia force us to use all these technologies. But technologies are just tools. It's not bukan apa ni the brain, the mind is still yours. Technology is just tool, but tools ni will help you to do a lot of things. Okay. And at the same time, kita juga nak kan big data, landscape big data, good landscape based informations. Siapa nak kena buat tu? Now kita kata okay, what's the the contributions of landscape to the industry? Berapa in terms of itu sebabnya kita kata we need a quantitative punya data, the figures. At the same time, we have to train and retrain personnel as professionals and semi-professional technologies and whatnot, okay, in handling all these technologies. So maybe it's high time for us to look at it's not just offering ni saja just offering landscape architecture punya program. Maybe we have to look at some other things that to handle all this atau masters in technology and advancements and whatnot. Sustainable materials. So bila kita kata sustainable materials in terms of using sustainable materials and whatnot, then we have to have standards. Okay, Do we have standards? Do we have guidelines? So we have to create all these standards and guidelines. And at the same time, we have to encourage good research in influencing and feeding into policy and practice. So this is the task for kita lah, Dr. Atiah dan kawan-kawan ni. We need to have all this good research so that our research ni can help and influence and support the policies and also the practice. Okay, next. Ni memang saya letak ni. Respecting the cultural landscape, landscape identity and also character. So dalam kita buat a lot of things ni, kita kata shaping new trends to keep the time, landscape design, provide solutions and whatnot ni, tapi we have to respect the cultural landscape, our landscape identity and also characters. So all these are important things. All these are the unique of a place, and this is what we call the sense of place. Really, kita kena respect and kita kena understand the whole scenario, apa ni, these whole things. Betul lah kita ada technologies and whatnot, tapi respecting the cultural landscape ni, landscape identity and also character is very important. Okay, this is different lah kalau kita tengok in our aspect. And not forgetting our landscape architecture curriculum. Saya kata we need to transform. This is the time lah kita nak kena transform. Now kita kata we are forced to do studios ni, apa ni, bukanlah force kan, because of this apa ni PKPs and whatnot, kita kena buat online, studios online. Kita kata, tapi to me online is also face to face. Kita nampak, I masih nampak muka apa ni Dr. Atiah apa ni dan kawan-kawan. Tapi maybe because our tools is not enough in order for us to ni. Tapi kalau kita boleh interact and our line is very good and whatnot, I think these are all just tools. Tapi sebab tu kata our apa ni things need to be, apa ni, curriculum need to be looked at carefully. Maybe our presentations, our mode of apa ni using things, and then maybe in terms of apa ni, well, we have apa ni Bachelor of Landscape Architecture, Masters of Landscape Architecture, but maybe in terms of technologies and whatnot, this is the time. Sebab tu for us apa ni in UPM kita dah start developing what we call Master Sustainable Landscape Management and whatnot. Alhamdulillah, we have our first batch apa ni graduating this year, 15 of them, and then apa ni the second batch is around apa ni 13. InsyaAllah is coming. So sebenarnya kita dah nampak pada ni 2018, 2017. So we started apa ni looking at we need to transform in the year 2020. Jadi this happen, then well, tapi still I think maybe the majlis apa ni ketua Jabatan Senibina Landskap and whatnot need to really sit down together to brainstorm apa nama in terms of apa ni perkara ni. Begitu juga dengan polytechnics, college communities, apa ni, all the CGLs and whatnot. We are talking about TVET. TVET is apa ni high skills in terms of apa nama technical professionals. Okay, how to handle all this apa ni technological advancements and whatnot. Okay, so this is our task. We have to really, but dia dah tak boleh as usual. Apa ni things apa ni teaching as usual dah tak ada dah. Okay. People have moved to another level of teaching methods and whatnot, and also in terms of the post-COVID, what's next? Okay, I think dah nak dekat habis dah ni. Okay, post-COVID sikit lagi. Okay, crisis we need. Tapi I kata this is the opportunities for us to really bang in apa nama the importance of all this apa ni public spaces, landscape areas and whatnot, okay, for well-being and also recognized as essential. Is not apa ni just apa ni sampingan dan sebagainya, and also and this is the opportunities for us to develop a sustainable landscape framework for apa nama to create landscape spaces for people in a changing world. Okay, come. Banyak task kita ni.
Yeah. Very inspiring, Prof. Osman. It's okay.
Sebab tu saya kata this is just the beginning of the journey. Okay,
Yeah.
we have been for last 40-30 years kita dah the journey of greening the nations and whatnot. Kita dah predict dah 2020 ni will be a turning point ni, come with COVID dan sebagainya, then it is a must. It is something that sebab tu kita kata, are we ready? And are we matured enough in our views and practice in landscape and sustainability? Saya dah cakap tadi kan, sustainable thinking, you have to change your mindset. Sustainable thinking, you have to have a multifunctional thinking, you have to have integrated thinking, and then you have to change in terms of doing things and whatnot. So, are we ready? To me, we have to be ready. Because kita kata, we need to come up with sustainable and comprehensive landscape act, policies, ini yang penting ni. Policies, strategies, action plan, as well as guidelines, procedures, standards, framework should be developed and in place. Okay, how to do it? We have to work together. Sebab tu saya kata, it's not only the policy makers, not ILAM, not apa, we have to join in hands in order for us to, and this is the right and the best time for us to do all these things, to change and to, kita kata, reset. We have to have a sustainable thinking and practices in all our landscape planning, design, implementation, management, and maintenance. We have to open up our scope. We have to give services not only to the landscape industries, but also to the agriculture, to the forestries, to the mining, and all these other industries. And there are even more things waiting for us to be explored and exploited. Sustainability. So to end up, actually the future is now. and this is the beginning of the journey. So yalah, to me kan, we have started thinking of that all this 5 years ago, 3 to 5 years ago. And it happened, katakan kita tak predict lah pandemic, tapi we predict there should be a transformation, because during that time kita kata people are talking about industry 4, smart society, community, sustainable communities, social society 5.0 and whatnot kan. Dah kita kata okay, tetapi what accelerate the transformations and also whatever yang kita nak kena change ni more is because of the COVID. So nak tak nak, we have to do. And actually we are bukanlah kita kata ni, we have to really together, you see, put our thoughts together in order for us to move further. And it started this year. It's really challenging. Cukuplah tu Dr. Atiah.
Ya Allah, Dr. Osman, I am speechless. I believe everybody, tiba-tiba, the last 25 minutes was real silent. Anak-anak pun tahu, duduk diam-diam. Dr. Osman, I think you are the father of us today. You've been talking, giving us inspiration. Sungguh, we are all terkedu, tergamam. But I believe you are all very, very much inspired. Thank you so much, Prof. TS, Dr. Osman. So, there's a lot to churn, ladies and gentlemen, daripada tajuk yang Dr. Osman, Prof. Dr. Osman has shared with us this morning. So, I believe even though we've been only about almost 2 hours, we started at 10, now it's 11:45. But with all the glitches, that really shows the way we start after 2021, yeah, Osman. We start with smile, very hopeful, then technical glitch came in. So we've got to be creative, we do something. And Prof. Osman came back with his intuition, dengan dia punya semangat, and he ends his presentation dengan inspirasi, motivasi sampai semua terkedu. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah, Prof. Osman. Memang dahsyat. Okay, so I believe that's a very, very beautiful, brilliant talk by Professor Landscape Architect TS Prof. Dr. Osman this morning. I am so is highly inspired. Kami terbang dah ni ya. So, but the best thing that apart from all the cases Prof. Osman brought with us, the cases that we're facing now and before, the thing that we always learn that the COVID is an opportunity. So Prof. Osman bawa kita for this 2021 to see this vision, to change our vision, COVID from a pandemic into an opportunity. Thank you so much. And the question, are we ready? By Prof. Osman, we all have to answer on our own, all right? And then the future is now. Prof. Osman dia tak bagi about a few seconds pun. Dia kata the future is now. Take it or leave it, all right? And then the idea is we all have to move together, yeah? Prof. Osman work together through this innovative technology and sustainable values. That was very, very beautiful, Prof. Osman. Right, so now we have Prof. Dr. Osman. I believe we have about 15 minutes more. We're going to be closing at 12. A few questions from our participants today, yeah. So we might want to answer a few, yeah, Prof. Osman. So there's one question that I can read from here. Okay. Okay, the question is that from from LAR, Amos Ng, how landscape can prepare ourselves to get involved in Malaysian national, excuse me, how landscape can prepare ourselves to get involved in Malaysian National Tourism Policy 2030? Would you like to answer that first, Prof?
Okay, Amos, thanks. Sebab tu lah, that's why we have this landscape architecture agenda 2050 kan. You look at number 1, landscape agenda 2050 tu. Look at the number 1. Number 1 ni kita kata visibility. So you have to make yourself visible. Okay, you have to make your voice louder in order for people to hear you. Okay, and also you have to be recognized. Kalau you tak recognized, siapa nak panggil kita kan? So these are things. So for the last 10 years, for the last 5 years and whatnot, this is what we are doing. Okay, so we want to make ourselves visible. That's why now kalau you tengok Dr. Zuhadi, Dr. Atiah and all the ESCOs tu dia dah tak menang tangan dah. So everybody but at the same time we have our Department of Landscape Architect, Department of National Landscape Department. So it is our kita bagi trust to them. Because a lot of policies and whatnot with other departments ni akan dihandle oleh Jabatan Landskap Negara. But at the same time, ILAM and all of you, once you are being recognized, they will call you, they will invite you to give. And now I think in terms of public participations, they have town halls and whatnot. They will have public participations in terms of calling publics to give your comments, your suggestions and whatnot. So you can have your roles and you can play your part in that particular areas. So that is. Kalau tak pun we can just write in saying that okay, this is whatever we suggest to them, so we can give them a memorandum. So tetapi Amos, tetapi yang pentingnya ialah we have to have the key things to offer. That is the most important thing. Kan, if you can't offer certain things, macam mana kita nak ni? So you're not just suggesting, oh, these are problems, but you have to really suggest what is the landscape solutions for all these things. Sebab tu I kata tourism tadi kan, we have new national tourism punya policies. Okay, so we have everybody yang dalam industri, we have to look at it in a more details manner, bukan just tengok macam tu, and look at where is our roles. So that's the apa nama, the things and what are the things that we can offer to them.
Fantastic.
Sama juga dengan apa ni, we at the higher apa ni education punya ni kan, how we train our students. Okay, kita ada apa ni our curriculum kan. So our studio kita every year, every semesters we have studios, dan studios kita ada projects. So are we doing the projects ni the same old projects, the same things 20 years ago? Perlu tak kita ubah? Same as polytechnics. You are producing semi-professionals. Okay?
Yeah.
But are you producing semi-professionals in line with the overall scenarios, the overall challenges, and are you preparing untuk benda-benda tu?
Yep. Correct.
So these are things that need to be looked at in a more proper manner.
Yeah, brilliant, Prof. Osman. There's one question here. Thank you, Prof. Osman. Thank you, Imus, for the question. One question here, requesting for the slides to be shared with participant. Would be able to do that, Prof?
Yang tu tanya sekretariat. Saya dah bagi sekretariat.
Okay, so yeah. So once we
Boleh
do
lah,
the
tak apa. It's okay.
all
For
right.
all the participants, we can share. No problem.
Oh, thank you so much. Lots of the participants are requesting, so because the paper is very, very exciting. So thank you, Prof. Thank you so much. So now another question from one Azlina before we end the session. The question is in terms of education and research. We talk about education and research just now. How we want to bring forward our research findings of sustainability into reality. For example, in the case of policy implementation, I believe Prof. Osman is the best person to answer on this definitely. So over to you, Prof.
Okay, in terms of research and whatnot, sebab tu research ni is not just apa nama, if you want to do research ni, it's not just apa ni, you termimpi satu masalah then you kata, oh, why not we do a research? No, kan? Tetapi research ni, it should be tailored with the main issues. Sebab tu apa ni, the government ni normally every year dia akan keluar apa ni, these are the things, the key things that we need to solve. Okay, so dia kata okay, then apa ni, give proposal. Sebab tu kita ada FRGS, apa ni, fundamental punya research, kita ada apa nama TRGS, transdisciplinary punya research dan sebagainya. Okay, meaning that kalau apa ni, fundamentals and whatnot, then you are solving certain specific issues. Tetapi kalau you go with the transdisciplinary research and whatnot, these are the opportunities for you to work together, not only with apa ni, within your organizations but also other organizations. Okay, kenapa kita kena work in silos? Sebab tu I always mention about come, why not we apa ni, work together with apa ni, universities yang katakanlah now we have 5 universities yang 5-6 universities yang offer landscape architecture. Why not we sit down, come up with apa ni, proposals and apa ni, bid for project apa ni, research funds and whatnot. But the apa ni, bidding for that fund ni based on the current punya requirements and the key issues yang government tengah nak ni. And our research should be a disciplinary punya research. It's not only, sebab tu macam kita nak buat apa ni, landscape pun kan, kita kata it's no longer valid for us to just apa ni, katakan buat landscape. Our apa ni, thoughts is just apa ni, putting greens to that particular areas. Tetapi we have to relate that into certain things. Okay, more multifunctional kind of thing. And at the same time, juga kita should be based on certain benchmarking to be recognized that well we have addressed these issues in doing things. Sebab tu penting ya. sekarang ni pun dah kita boleh commercialize our research. We can come up with products from our research and whatnot. So dah boleh dah sekarang ni. I think there's a lot of opportunities. Cuma kita masih di peringkat moving on. Tapi last few days kita ada mesyuarat jabatan di UPM, Jabatan Senibina Landskap. I think for us we have moved forward dah. Dah nampak dah kita dah ke hadapan in terms of our findings, our thoughts and our way of doing things. I think alhamdulillah. So tapi macam tadilah saya kata, let's work together. More brain ni akan come out with something very is better lah. Tapi macam tadi saya kata, for landscape and sustainability ni, you have to have sustainable thinking, you have to have multifunctional punya thinking, and also you have to have integrated thinking. Kalau tak, you are in silos.
Correct. Okay, so one last question. We have about 3 minutes to go. From Muhammad Reza bin Muhammad Afla, how does UPM conduct courses required students to use computer base such as GIS and AutoCAD? Would you mind to answer this, Prof. Dr. Osman?
Okay, to me, tadi saja juga lah. Maksudnya all these are tools, okay? Tools. Kita adalah unwritten ni katakan, okay, first year ni kita memang nak galakkan manuals and whatnot. Tapi at the same time, this generations ni, the current generations ni, you tengok kan, you tak ajar dia pun. Sorry, ada
dua orang pula lah.
You tak ajar dia pun, students dah explore dah pun benda-benda ni. And the explorations is beyond, kadang-kadang kita kata, you dah explore sampai tahap ni. So, you nak control apa? Tetapi sebenarnya kita punya ni ialah, our concern is how kita develop dia punya mind. Sebab tu kita kata, the projects we given them, the assignment given them, are we challenge dia punya mind? Kalau it's just to get data, everything, semua data dah ada dah. Everywhere, you want to collect data ni semua ada dah. Tapi do you challenge dia punya mind? And they can use whatever tools. Kita kata gini. Tapi macam online ni kan, kita kata pakai ni, tapi they have explore more than whatever yang kita tahu. So I'm not also only talking about the students, I'm also the lecturers. Kita juga kena backup in terms of our knowledge and in terms of our skill. Okay. Kita tak boleh nak katakan minta students to sampai ke satu tahap, tapi our knowledge and our skills ni tak sampai. Pun tak boleh juga. So these are the balance that we have, and I'm fortunate because saya ni lahir tahun 60 ni, dia 61 ni, we experience the whole sets of daripada typewriter yang type satu-satu tu kepada komputer yang pakai Fortran lah, pakai sampailah sekarang buat studio yang face to face dan sebagainya, sampailah buat studio online. And it's a real challenge to us yang dalam keadaan macam ni lah. Tapi what to do? Okay. But still, I kata, all these are tools, all these are mode. Mode ni kita kata methods of doing things. Tetapi yang the most critical thing yang kita dianugerahkan ialah kita ada akal. So that differentiates from one another. Itu yang penting. Sebab itu, to train the students, we are not just training them skills, we are also building their punya characters and also building their punya mind. That is the most important thing. I always mention to the student, kalau you get A's, the A mean is not only because you buat benda tu, tetapi you you acquired all the knowledge of ACE in order for you to practice, to apa nama, memang you are the role models lah as ACE students.
Yeah, brilliant, Prof. Osman. I believe when we are in a school, it was very different from the teaching method we might have passed through last 30 years when we were at school. We don't know, we have a very difficult situation to find data. But now in the classroom, our issues being the educators, the teachers, is that there are lots of data until our children, our students don't know where and how to use the data. So we are turning into another challenges, which is when you have too much to churn and which one is actually really, really beneficial for you to use. Yeah. So thank you so much, Prof. Dr. Osman. I believe that is basically our events, our talk today. And I see there's from our host WacanaReka, disertakan slide pembentangan Prof. Osman. But I believe I couldn't get the slides yet. Oh yeah, it is on the Google Drive. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, slides by Prof. Osman today is actually on the Google Drive. You may have to download now because once we end the session, all the chat room will be disappear. And please save the link now, or else it's going to be disappeared once we leave the meeting. So let's save the slides. All right. So I believe that today's session, the opening of 2021, the challenges and the content Prof. Osman shared with us, and the question he posed and the challenges he posed on us. All right, for us to change our mind, to be ready, and to change the way we think towards much more sustainable, that is from the brain to the hands, which is from the way we think to the way we act. So that's how the landscape architects can help to change, can help to make difference, and also can elevate the benefits of people and also landscape areas. So thank you so much, Prof. Osman. Any special final words, Prof. Osman, maybe want to share with our participants who are still with us now? We have about 260 participants. We started with 350. We have 300 in the middle, but some has been leaving. So we have about 260 participants now. So the last messages from the father of landscape architecture in Malaysia, Professor Landscape Architect TS Dr. Osman Mohd Tahir. Our father today, you really being our father, Prof. Osman. I'm so sorry, but I feel that. So from a father to his children, from a father to his colleague, something for us to take away with us after this. Over to you.
Dah atuk dah Dr. Atiah.
Banyaklah cakap tu kalau dikira sendiri saya terima.
Okay, apa ni untuk semua, I think thank you for all your supports and whatnot. I think the industry ni memang really need us. Okay, so I think this is the time for us to move forward, and also for us to be together in order for us to ensure that apa nama the prosperity of the industry. But at the same time, as I mentioned, we have to change our mindset, the way we're doing things, and also the way we think in terms of apa nama landscape ni. So with that, I really thank you. Listening apa ni coloti saya lah 1 jam lebih ni, dan I'm very sorry lah because of the technical error yang berlaku at the early stage tu. So selamat maju jaya untuk semua sekali. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much, Prof. Dr. Osman. So we are leaving you with this WacanaReka, but we are not leaving you forever, because ILAM, on the other hand, will also have lots of other few webinars coming up to support mentally and physically all landscape architects and everyone, because we are all kita semua ni menjadi perlu mendapatkan motivasi yang luar biasa daripada 2021 kerana kita sesungguhnya adalah mereka-mereka yang luar biasa. Thank you Prof Osman, thank you to our FRSB WacanaReka committee, thank you so much Profesor Madya, TS, Dr. Muhammad Aziz Muhammad Yunus, our TDPI, our Deputy Dean for Research, formulated this idea so that everybody could get together and ILAM as a co-partner. And thank you so much for everyone who has been with us from the beginning, through the glitch, to the content, by the inspiration, and we're going to meet you again, inshallah, following webinar. So stay with us, stay motivated, stay strong, and definitely from our father today, stay together. So that, ladies and gentlemen, please key in all your registration form. And for ILAM, make sure you have all the pictures of you attending this from the beginning until end, so that you could obtain your 2 CPD points for today. And with that, thank you so much, Prof Osman. Once again, we owe you, we need your inspiration, and we will continue to be a good landscape architects. Hari ni hari Jumaat, jangan tipu ya. So we will be a much more sustainable thinker and sustainable act, and doing with the sustainable act as a landscape architect. See you next time. Kita jumpa lagi. Mohon maaf atas segala kekurangan, dan insyaAllah we love you so much and we see you again. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih.
Waalaikumsalam. Terima kasih Prof Osman, terima kasih Dr. Atiah.
Terima kasih. Terima kasih banyak-banyak.
Terima kasih semua.
Thanks for the great
Terima kasih.
Thank you so
Terima
much.
kasih.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you everyone.
Dr. Atiah.
Terima kasih.
Assalamualaikum.
Prof Osman.
Terima kasih.
Thank you. Thank you. Semoga kalau
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Terima kasih semua. Dr. Jafar tak
Sama-sama.
naik basikal ke?
Dia gantung basikal dia.
Saya basikal.
Okay, thank you so much. Terima
buat
kasih.
aku punya video tak keluar.
Ada keluar video aku nampak tu ha. Terima kasih semua kerana menyokong
Video
kami.
letak aku punya.
Jaga diri baik-baik, stay safe ya Allah. Semoga Allah melindungi kita semua. Amin ya rabbal alamin. Kepada, I'm so sorry. I have to wish terima kasih Profesor Madya, Dr. Suhardi Maulan, Presiden of ILAM. Thank you. With us. Ya. Baru keluar tadi duduk belakang, saya tak nampak. Terima kasih. Awang Hafiz, terima kasih. Terima kasih semua. Mana? Once again? Come again?
Lagu penutup.
Oh, lagu penutup. Lagi keluar 10 lagu saya.
Oh, kami orang nak tunggu ni nanti apa tak dah keluar lah.
William dah cakap Atiah, jangan buat macam-macam, okay? I hope you enjoy the singing too. It was the plan. Nasib baiklah ada perasan-perasan record sikit kan. Ha. Sorry
Bukan.
Prof Osman. Kan?
Yang tu memang dah standby dah Atiah kan.
Dapatlah hilang rindu sikit ya. InsyaAllah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you Dr. Atiah.
Terima kasih Prof. Dr. Osman. Thank you so much.
Terima kasih Dr. Osman. Jumpa lagi insyaAllah. Dr. Atiah.
Okay, thanks.
Orang pernah cakap dia pula.
Terima kasih Dr. PM
Sama-sama.
Dr. Yazid, Nazlin, thanks,
Ya,
thanks
Dr.
for hosting.
Terima kasih Prof. Osman. Dr. Atiah.
Terima kasih banyak-banyak. Actually, lots of wajah-wajah yang dirindui sebenarnya kan Prof Osman ya.
Betul
Looking
aja.
at our friends, our alumni, Masya Allah. That's why kita Prof Osman kata tu. Bila tak dapat jumpa online lagi rindu sebenarnya kan?
Tak payah.
Hi. Bye Karin. Thank you so much. So with that, I believe we have to end the link here. Terima kasih banyak-banyak. Stay safe, ya. Dr. Yazid, is it okay now? Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Atiah.
Actually, we gave time for participants to download the slides sebenarnya. That's why we are still here. Yeah, so mungkin ada yang ada masalah. So slides Prof Osman juga akan kita download di FRSB Facebook, ya.
Ya betul, boleh dapatkan nanti selepas ini boleh dapatkan. Dapatkan di FB FRSB.
Yes.
Saya bagi link sekali lagi, nanti boleh dapatkan selepas inilah. So anytime boleh pergi ke FB FRSB untuk dapatkan slide tersebut.
Betul. Ya. So ada yang masih mungkin tengah save the link, jadi kita dah cakap yang link tu on dulu. Ya. Terima kasih banyak-banyak.
Usaha pendapat link boleh pergi ke FRSB, FB FRSB boleh dapatkan kemudian.
Ya, betul. Bagi yang
dan boleh follow dan like sekali lah FB FRSB.
Betul. Ya, follow FB FRSB juga. Terima kasih Puan Adila. Saya tepuk tangan, tunjuk thumbs up. Terima kasih banyak-banyak. Thank you for supporting us. And Sharina, thank you so much. Ahmad Zamil, terima kasih banyak-banyak supporting us. Terima kasih. Dr. Ahmad Zamil, insyaAllah coming up. And we are so proud of you too, of course. Yeah, Puan Zarisma, Masya Allah rindunya. Terima kasih joining us. Orang penting ni. Terima kasih banyak-banyak. Thank you. So, Dr. Yazid, over to host if you feel like we should end the link.
Saya pada Zeti lah, Zeti host.
Okay.
Zeti.
So harapannya semua yang ada dekat sini dah boleh download slides Prof Osman tadi ya, Prof Dr. Osman. So terima kasih banyak-banyak, insyaAllah kita jumpa lagi. Maaf jika ada kekurangan dan kesilapan daripada pihak kami ya.
Okay Doktor, saya end meeting sekarang ya.
Baiklah, terima kasih.
Terima kasih Doktor.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam. Okay, dia tunggu sampai semua orang nak keluar.